That glitch, it's time to thwip. What's up, guys? I'm AJ, and welcome back to another Thwip Side action figure review. And today I'm sharing with you my thoughts on the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Armored Batman from the Kingdom Come storyline. I feel like going over the packaging for the DC Multiverse line is pretty boring. It hasn't changed since it first came out back in, 2020? So 3 years, same packaging. So I'm foregoing that for a while. So we're just going to get into the accessories. Of course, you get the stand has the DC logo and the trading card, which I'm kind of mad because I bent it out of the package, and I do save these. And this is artwork from Kingdom Come. Now, full disclosure, but what I'm about to say, after I say it, please don't bring out the pitchforks at me and hunt me down. But speaking of the Kingdom Come storyline, I have never read the Kingdom Come storyline, and that is mostly due to, this is where people are going to probably think I'm crazy, but I never really cared much for Alex Ross's artwork. I know he's huge in the comic industry, and his art is revered, and people like to collect his covers and things, but I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. By no means am I saying I think it's terrible. It's just not something that I particularly enjoy. I like other artists. With that being said, the figure was really interesting looking. I came across him at GameStop, so I decided to pick him up. Of course, big Batman fan, so we're going to check him out. Now, starting off, I will say when I first picked up the package in the store, the box, to go buy him, I noticed right away he's got some heft to him. He feels weighty, a little beefy, and that's obviously mostly because of the wings. And on the back you get like the jetpack part of the wings. He does come with the wings off in the package. I've already put them together. But yeah, the design, like I just said, I wasn't a huge fan of Alex Ross. I'm not going to keep saying that so people don't hunt me down, but I appreciate him as an artist. That's the last I'll say. He's just not for me, and that's okay. But anyway, the figure itself, I thought looking at him in the store, he looked pretty cool. So of course, as I already said, he was Batman, so I picked him up. And I like the design. Doing a little research, I guess, in the storyline, he's older, so this is kind of like his armor, kind of like to keep him alive, like life support in a way. I'm not sure how true that, how to what extent he is, but that's all I know, is kind of acts as life support. If I'm wrong, comment and let me know, because like I said, I just read something about that real quick before I did this review. But the actual design of the armor itself, I really like. It's nice and simple. You know, you got this big bat, instead of a bat logo, it comes down from the cowl over his shoulders and just incorporates in it and to his chest. And you got this belt that looks like it has handles, so I assume that he holds on to them when he flies. I don't know, maybe there's some type of controls, but it's just basically black and gray. But nice, you get like the armor bits here, like armor accents everywhere. And you got these big gauntlets that come down in points. And the head is really cool. You can see his age in the face sculpt, which I really love. These, the ears are very flimsy, and I might have to heat one up to straighten it out, but just be careful you don't bend it too bad and have your ears all out of whack. And then, of course, the big draw here is the wings, and it is a really nice wingspan. They do fold forward and back a little bit. I wish they would fold all the way to collapse totally behind for display purposes. Make it more shelf friendly. And then, of course, in the back, you got all this and the nice rockets. And it's all just like a grayish silver plastic with some nice detailing in there. So yeah, really cool, simple design, and it just does it for me. Real quick, I just want to point out, I like how this is almost like a neck brace holding his head into place. And coming down here, whack my camera here, down by his chin, it almost looks like the bottom of Darth Vader's mask, which I think is really cool. Articulation wise, this neck brace unfortunately prevents him from really looking up. You can get more than I thought. About that much. Definitely more than I thought, but I wish it could go up a little more for a flying character. Like, obviously he's meant to be flying around in his jetpack, but still nice that you got that. That actually surprises me. And you get some turn, but again, the neck brace kind of hinders, and he can look down about, I'm really pushing that much, so nice range looking down. I will say also the joints, a lot of his joints are really stiff. Up here you have probably like that butterfly type assembly McFarlane's known for, but you get some nice shift, a little butterfly, it's crashing into the wings, crashing into his pecs. You get it. It's going to be hard because of the stiffness to show the articulation with everything going on, but you get a single jointed elbow, which I'm sure people gripe about, that goes to about there. And it also rotates on that elbow, and then you get wrist swivel. My fingers are in the way because I have to hold it so hard because it is very tight. You get the wrist swivel and up and down hinge. I didn't try to manipulate it to go side to side. There's a lot of stuff going on there, and I figured it'd just be a pain, so I'd leave it alone because I'm not really going to need that anyway. His torso articulation is really nice. He's got some nice tilt, rotation. He can arc back. He would be able to arc back more if the wings, of course, weren't in the way. And he can crunch decent for a McFarlane figure. So not too bad there. And what's really stiff and crazy are these legs. Now, this piece here, how his leg comes up and the armor hits, it gets in the way quite a bit in some when you're trying to pose it. But he can do the splits like that. And he can kick up, but see, it kicks and like comes up as a V. And it is very tight. What I really like is that because of this armor piece, they actually did a thigh swivel. A nice thigh swivel. That's really cool. I have to kick his leg up here to show you his double jointed knees. And these are super, super tight. But they are nicely articulated. Hear that? All those detents. So yeah, really nice. Just, it is kind of ugly in the front though when you do that, the knee itself. But yeah, man, I should have heated this up. But that's crazy. Even the in here you can hear it clicking and everything. And I think they did that because they knew he'd be top heavy because of the wings and jetpack. So that's cool that they did that. And then you have ankle rotates, goes forward that far, back that far. You get the toe articulation and some decent rocker. And I didn't realize how tall this armored Batman was until I put him next to the DC Multiverse Dark Knight Returns Batman. And I decided to go with him for the comparison because I have read Dark Knight Returns many times, and I added him in here because that's another one where I'm not a super fan of the art, but I love the story. And I will say, McFarlane Toys knocked this figure out of the park. I love how this figure came out. So I'll probably go back and read Kingdom Come because, like I just said, I did love The Dark Knight Returns, as most people. Just not up there on my top favorite artist or artwork for Batman. And he's also considerably taller compared to the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse 3 Jokers Batman, which, speaking of artwork, I love Jason Fabok's artwork, and the artwork of the 3 Jokers miniseries was awesome in my opinion. And quickly, I want to add, as I was getting ready to wrap up the review, I noticed this piece with like the handles on it kept on getting a little cockeyed. So I was trying to move the torso to put it in line, but I noticed that too was a little cockeyed. So when I did that, I noticed this piece like floats. Just wanted to point that out because so you can get a little turning out of it. I'm not yanking too much because I don't want to bend these handles all out of whack, but just something I wanted to point out in the review. So bottom line for me is that although I never read the source material this figure comes from, I think he's a really cool figure. And even though I don't really care for the artwork, I still think he's a really cool figure. Just a nice, cool, different Elseworlds type version of Batman in his older years. Now I have two old men Batman with the Dark Knight Returns. But yeah, it's just a nice streamlined armored suit with a cool jetpack on the back, and I love it. I'm not one of those people that complain there's too many Batman figures. Batman figures. I pick up the ones I like. I'm a huge Batman fan, always been since I was like 4. Probably my favorite superhero, favorite character. So the ones I don't really think I need, I don't pick up, and I don't complain, and I move on with my day. I saw this one, and I thought he looked cool enough to pick him up and check him out, and in my opinion, he is. I mean, basically for me, he's just going to stand like this on the shelf. I may take the wings off for when I display him, just for shelf room. The only gripe I have is I wish when they folded in the back, they totally collapsed to fold directly behind the jetpack. Not the case. Or I might put him way back in my shelf like this and put figures here and here or whatever. But yeah, I think he'll look really nice on my shelf. Another thing I will say though, the type of plastic and being black with these wings, as you can see, every fingerprint and every scuff you wipe across will show up in the light. That's not a negative, it's just the nature of plastic. But yeah, really happy with this purchase. I do recommend him. Thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing and thwipping that notification bell, and I will catch you guys real soon right back here on the thwip side. Later.